Broncos fans, get in on our next mailbag video sometime next week, but this is your opportunity. Get in the comments section and ask away with any questions that you have about your Denver Broncos. Now, there is a caveat, because I'm going to go through, I'm going to do my little Control F and scroll through, and I'm going to do hashtag Broncos to find the question. So if you ask your question, you don't get hashtag Broncos in there, it's not going to be on the mailbag video. So step 1, hashtag Broncos. Step 2, ask your question. Step 3, post that comment, and you might just be on our next mailbag. You're watching the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Sam Brown, and we're diving into the latest Denver Broncos news and rumors. Today, I wanted to talk about an article from PFF's Sam Monson, where he revealed throughout the week his top 50 players entering the 2021 season. Ranked them 50 all the way to 1, released them in chunks of 10, and the Denver Broncos had 2 players make the list. Spoiler alert, they're both in the secondary, but hey, that's the fun. The Broncos have so many players there that you get to decide right now which ones you think are in that list. Definitely fielding a talented secondary, both with returning veterans as well as some free agency additions. Now we'll go ahead and break down this list right now, beginning with our good friend Justin Simmons, making the list at number 23, behind Joey Bosa, Russell Wilson, right in front of Trent Williams and Myles Garrett, the safety for the Denver Broncos. Is there any debate here? I mean, he's clearly the top safety in football, and PFF agrees with that too. If you look at the rankings of the safeties that they have in the top 50, you see Simmons at 23, Harrison Smith at number 32, John Johnson of the Cleveland Browns at number 41, and then Marcus Williams, who just re-signed with the Saints, at number 48. Again, Justin Simmons clearly deserves this sort of hype with what he's put together, especially in the last 2 seasons, but really his entire time with the Broncos and how he's developed as a player. 90-plus tackles in the last 2 seasons, nearly double-digit pass breakups, 4 interceptions in each of the last 2 seasons. He makes plays in the backfield. He makes plays in the passing game. He can get after the quarterback a little bit as well. And I think also because the Broncos were able to bring back Kareem Jackson, draft guys like Caden Stearns, Jamar Johnson, really bolstered the secondary, the cornerbacks as well. I think you're going to see Justin Simmons play even freer and maybe do some more pass rushing, or maybe a little bit more of the coverage as opposed to really being that center field free safety. But I want to get this out to you guys right now because I think Justin Simmons is the best safety in football. I've said it time and time again here on the Broncos Breakdown, and I want you to like this video if you agree with me. Come on. I can't get, 100, 150 of you guys to believe that Justin Simmons is the best safety in the football? Back me up real quick and back him up. Like this video if you agree that he's the best there is out there. Now the other Broncos player on the list, and this one's a little bit of a surprise, Bryce Callahan at number 36 in front of Nick Chubb, A.J. Brown, Alvin Kamara. The analytics don't love Josh Allen all too much, it seems like. Number 40 overall, I probably would have had him a little higher up on the list. But Bryce Callahan's certainly an interesting name with the Broncos because we know he's been talented. The problem is he's been injured. 22 missed games over the past 2 years since he left Chicago and joined Vic Fangio here in Denver. Now, it's all about the analytics, especially with Pro Football Focus and their rankings. And when on the field, Callahan is certainly a really good player and a top end, in my opinion, nickel cornerback. You see what he did in 10 games last season. The passer rating, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but PFF, it was low when teams were targeting Bryce Callahan. He's a strong player in coverage, there's no doubt about it. The problem is he just hasn't been able to play on the field. Just 10 games in 2 seasons. Reminds me of Jawan James a little bit, but hopefully Callahan gets back on the field and we can start to believe why he was ranked number 36 on this list. But that's 2 Broncos in the top 50, certainly exciting, and hopefully you get guys like Kareem Jackson, maybe a Kyle Fuller, a young guy like Surtain in there, Judy maybe in the works. Who knows, might see a couple more in the near future. I want you to call out Sam Monson of PFF and let me know which Broncos player should have made the list. I think you could go a couple different ways. I think Bradley Chubb maybe could have snuck into that top 50. Maybe a guy like Kyle Fuller, even though he switched teams. I think you could have gone either way with those, but I want to hear from you in the comments section. Get your votes in right now. Be sure to subscribe to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. We're keeping you up to date all offseason long on the latest around the Broncos. It doesn't matter whether it's myself or the guys like Tom, Mitchell, Harrison Graham, bringing you all the latest from Denver. We're going to keep you up to date here. We're starting to grow the channel a little bit well again. We're keeping the pace going, and I want to get up to 5,000, 10,000 subscribers as quickly as possible, and we need your help to do it. So you see that link below me, youtube.com/Broncos TV. You can either go to that link or hit the big red button right below the video here on YouTube. Let's dive into some more Denver Broncos rumors. Do the Broncos have a top 5 cornerback duo in all of football? Bleacher Report's article recently ranked the top 5 tandems entering the 2021 season, and Denver's duo of recently signed free agents, Kyle Fuller and Ronald Darby, ranked number 4 on the list. Here is the full list for you now. Ranked them 5-1. The Miami Dolphins at number 5, Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. Mitchell Ren's outside a little triggered by that. He's a huge X guy, but Byron Jones a little bit inconsistent last year. The Broncos come in at 4. The Rams at 3, Jalen Ramsey and Darius Williams. Who would have thought? Obviously Ramsey, but Williams starting to emerge as well. Number 2, the Patriots, Stephon Gilmore. Could be traded soon. J.C. Jackson, they may drop out of that top 5. And then number 1, and I'm pretty sure PFF had this group last year when they did this same article, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters of the Baltimore Ravens. Bleacher Report, excuse me. But, you know, I think the top 5 is solid. You could argue a little bit about the order, where maybe the Broncos you think should be. I don't know if I love the Rams at number 3, but it's certainly exciting because Denver added both of these guys in the offseason, and both for pretty reasonable contracts. We'll start with Kyle Fuller here, who was, an all-pro corner at one point with the Chicago Bears. You look at his 2018 stats. If you get, 85% of 2018 Kyle Fuller, he's your CB1. There's no doubt about it. He's been consistent, had a little bit of a down year by his standards this season, but signed a 1-year deal, kind of a prove-it deal, especially with the cap raising in 2022, hopefully bump his value up a little bit, but has shown that he can be a starting cornerback in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. And then you look at Ronald Darby, who the Broncos brought in on a 3-year deal this offseason, also with some decent outs and not a ton of negatives for the Broncos. 16 pass breakups in 2020. That was 5th in the National Football League. Certainly a still young, and potentially exciting duo in Fuller and Darby as we enter the 2021 season. Nonetheless, George Paton, the work that he's done in this cornerback room is pretty outstanding. I mean, Bryce Callahan returning and will mostly play in the nickel next season, but you sign Fuller, you sign Ronald Darby, you let go of A.J. Boye, and then you draft Patrick Surtain in the first round. That could easily be insurance either if Fuller doesn't re-sign next offseason, or if Ronald Darby maybe doesn't perform like he did in 2020, the injuries resurface or something like that. The Denver Broncos cornerback room is set entering this season, and that's crazy considering what it was last year. I mean, you saw guys like Asang Bassi, Michael Ojemudia have to play kind of spot duty and have to play, kind of rush to the field because some of the injuries that happened, the A.J. Boye suspension, they weren't quite ready. I think that this cornerback room, am I going to say the best in the NFL? I don't know. I think that might be a better question for you guys. Type your Y for yes. Type your N for no. Yes. The Broncos have the best cornerback group in the NFL. I think they're a complete group. They have the best quartet. They may not have the best duo in the league, but I challenge you to find a roster with 4 cornerbacks who could play in the NFL today. I don't think there are very many. But Y for yes, N for no. Get your votes in the comments section. Bring back the alternate helmets. The NFL has approved a plan now where teams can bring back alternate helmets starting in 2022. This use of the second helmet was kind of dropped in 2013 just because of player safety, wear and tear over the course of a season, different variances. But these helmets would be worn with their throwback uniforms, which is very exciting. And I saw a lot of Broncos fans on Twitter talking about this, which leads me to my point. It's very simple. Make the call, John Elway. You got to bring back the light blue helmets at some point in the season. Teams have actually until July 31st, next month, to decide whether they want to use these helmets in 2022, and as well as what jerseys they would use them for. But there's no doubt about it. I mean, look at John Elway in that powder blue. Looks nice and clean with that orange jersey. Would even look even better, I think, with the Broncos now neon orange jersey. I mean, look at this Photoshop here of Drew Lock. Who knows? Maybe the light blue helmets might turn him into a top 15 quarterback. You never know. Either way, I want these back in the rotation. I want them back now. So Denver, you have a month. Figure it out. Do what we got to do to get the helmets back. Certainly good news for Broncos fans as the NFL has approved the throwback helmets, the alternate helmets for the 2022 season. If you agree with me, again, smash that like button. You want Denver to bring back the alternate helmets? Hit that thumbs up right below this video. It takes 2 seconds, if that, and all you can do, smash that like, speak your minds. Maybe the NFL come across this video and they might just make it happen.